Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. I'm just going to do this a second. Happy Thursday. It's not just my regular day, but I thought to come on here and I was doing the topic on making the most of your doctor's visit on Tuesday. And I got a couple of questions on just in case if you have issues with your doctor and you need to change doctors. So I figured it best to talk about it and the safest way to do it so that way it doesn't interrupt your health care. So your safety and your health care. So happy Thursday. Hello, my name is Abby Tyler. I am a practicing family nurse practitioner, content creator, your host, and a community volunteer, health volunteer. That's always my disclaimer. Whatever I say here shouldn't take the place of you seeing your family doctor first. Okay, so we'll get right into it. Welcome to all my new followers that have joined us since last week and also this week as well. I appreciate you being here and taking this journey with me. So, the topic today is if you need to find a new doctor, there's so many reasons why people change doctors, and there are many valid reasons. Sometimes the reasons are not valid, but there are many valid reasons. So, before I start that, let me just put my glasses back on. And I am going to, as always, I always talk about the weather. It was about 84 degrees today, 85 degrees in my neck of the woods. It's supposed to rain later, and I think it's the weekend is supposed to be a little iffy. So I'm sure there's a lot of cookouts and everything going on there. So I'm going to go right in here and I'm just going to just share this one more time so everybody can get the information and right there. Okay. So let's get into the topic for today. Let me change my screen here. Okay. So again, there are many reasons why people have to change doctors. Some of the valid reasons are going to there. You and your family are moving to a new location, and the doctor that you have right now is too far away for you to continue your care there. Your insurance company no longer contracts with that doctor, so you need to change doctors. Your life choices force you to make a change. Let's say you change insurance, you left your husband, you got married, or you left your wife, and whoever was taking the insurance before, also for like a child who's become at age 26 and they have to change doctors, or they have to change insurance and all that because they're no longer on their parents' insurance. The healthcare providers closing down, they're retiring. They also changed their career, they lost their license, malpractice insurance, and they have to shut down. Sometimes they even pass away. Also, there's so many reasons. Sometimes even the healthcare doctor can also fire you as a patient. Not so much fire you, but the fact that sometimes the agreement, your relationship with the doctor or another doctor or other people in the medical staff in the office is so unhealthy that they've made so many efforts to help you to have a better relationship with you and the provider and the medical staff, and it's not working. They may say, okay, at this time we don't feel that this is healthy for you to continue being here with us, so we have to change places. We have to let you go, so you have to find another doctor. Also, you may have to get a second opinion, and usually you won't be switching doctors at that time, but how to go about doing that, you have to talk to your doctor. How do you go for second opinion? You have to talk to your insurance company. And also, you said the doctor's really nice and sweet, but I don't think they're really competent. I don't think they're really addressing my problems. And there are other reasons. So some people want a doctor who looks like them. Some people want a doctor who maybe follows their culture or see some. There's so many reasons, and sometimes the reasons are none. And some people just have issues with a doctor, or some people it's just them. They might say, "My spirit doesn't take this doctor, so I need to find somebody else." Or maybe because there's one doctor in the practice, I want a male doctor, and this doctor's a female. I want a female doctor. This is a male doctor. I feel comfortable talking to somebody who's like my same sex, and this person is not doing it for me. So there's so many reasons why. All right, and like I said, it can be for any of those reasons or no reason at all. You just need to switch doctors because I'm just not feeling this doctor. So, and you have a right to do that. Okay. So how do you go about doing that? So if you're considering making those changes, here are some of the ways you can go about it. Okay, so once you've decided to change your doctors and all, you're right. You tell the doctor, you don't necessarily have to tell them, but there are steps that you have to go through because some people are like, okay, I want to change my doctor, and then or doctor that somebody in the staff in the office makes them mad, or the doctor and they get pissed off and give me, maybe cause a scene or maybe not, or just get pissed off and say, I'm not coming back to you anymore, and then you still have to get your medical records on these people, or maybe they're sending you to see different specialists and they have to give a referral and all that, your referrals or your medication. Let's say you take medication for high blood pressure and your medication is about to run out and you're supposed to make a follow-up appointment in order for them to give you more medication, and you have decided that you don't want to see them anymore. So that can be detrimental to your health if you don't go about it the right way. Okay, sometimes, I mean, your emotions and everything get into play, and of course you get mad and say some things out of spite, or maybe just at that moment somebody really made you mad. But at the same time, when you calm down, okay, the adult thing to do is to say, okay, yes, I know all this happened, but I want to change doctors. I have to call you back and I need to get my medical records. And I may need you to please, write that referral that I need for this time until I finally get another doctor. Don't just leave like that. Okay. Of course, most doctors' offices will, yeah, will say, okay, just let us know. We'll finish up some of the papers and all that too. But you want to make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to be detrimental to your health. All right. So before you leave the doctor, to make the transition to another doctor, find another doctor first. Find a new doctor first. Don't just leave or just say, "Give me all my paperwork," and you sit it down somewhere and you haven't found another doctor. You find another doctor first before you say, "Okay, I'm notifying you that I found another doctor and I would like to leave and I would like to get my papers and all that." Okay. So first things first, find out the doctor first. Okay. So, and if you find, because the reason is, if you find it, you say, okay, I'm going to go and I'm just going to go to the across the street, or I'm going to go somewhere else and find another doctor. Some doctors don't take on new patients. Like some doctors are not taking any more new patients based on whatever's going on in their practice. They may not be taking new patients. Some doctors don't take Medicaid patients, or certain insurance. They don't take certain insurance. So you want to, again, you want to get all that information before leaving your current doctor. And specialists are booked way in advance. So again, what if you had to see the specialist and you need a referral from your current doctor and you can't see that specialist? So especially also if you leave a specialist, because if you leave your primary doctor, that's one thing too. But if you decide I don't want to see the specialist and GI doctor, or right now like the GYNs, which is the gynecologist, the GI gastroenterologist, most of those other doctors are not taking patients, sometimes like months and months in advance. So if you decide, I don't want to see this doctor, I don't want to see the nephrologist, which is the kidney doctor, I don't want to see this other doctor, you could be waiting for a long time. And if your problem that you're having is something that's chronic and needs, continued management, that can also cause problems. So think about it first, kind of cool your jets. And if I know you don't know, I'm not asking you, I'm not telling you stay into somewhere where it's unsafe for you, but make sure that you make all these changes way ahead of time, prepare effectively before firing your doctor or you're firing your specialist. All right. So before you do that, okay, so you need to identify your new doctor, set an introductory visit first, set up the appointment and say, okay, I set up the appointment with this other doctor. I'm going to be coming to see you and get to know you first, and just establish, even if it means like for the first 15 minutes, and you go there and get your paperwork together and meet the doctor and say, okay, I feel comfortable that I'm with this doctor. And then you can, then later on, you can say, okay, now I'm moving on to this doctor and leaving this other doctor. All right. So schedule one, before you do that, let me get over here. Schedule one last visit with the doctor that you're leaving, so you can ask for your status report on your health, because you'll be like, okay, how's my blood pressure doing right now? How is this problem that I have right now? Where do you think I am, that if I leave you and go to another doctor or go to another practice, that there won't be the interruption in my care, won't be detrimental to my health. So have that conversation with that doctor. Again, this may be a little awkward if you went off on them and you have to go back and ask all these questions. Okay, so do it for you. It's your benefit. Right? Ask and take notes. Take a second person with you if possible, so that person can kind of be your advocate at the same time, and also that person may be able to say certain things that you may not be able to say because you've already had problems with this doctor. But sometimes remember, now is, again, there are many other reasons I listed. You may not have any problems with this doctor. It's just that your insurance or lifestyle change or something that happened. But if that was the case. But most times it's not the case, and some people love their doctors. They love their providers, meaning your doctor or your NP or your PA. They love them and they hate to have to leave. I've had patients that said, "Do you work anywhere else where I can come there with you?" Then I also have patients that didn't want to come back. So you take the good and you take the bad. Not so much bad, but sometimes people don't. Not every patient is going to like you. What are you, like the best pilot or the best this? Not everybody's going to like you, and you have as I'm like right over my words today. As a professional, you just have to, expect that. Not every patient will like you. All right. Discuss the reasons for leaving. Again, you don't have to say, but if you want to tell them, I'm leaving because, this is what's going on. My job changed, or I had to change insurance, and all. You can have that conversation with them. And sometimes you may want to tell them, if you're leaving because of something they did, or they had a problem there, I'm leaving because of this. Because some people don't know, some doctors or some medical staff may not see what you're seeing, may not understand it from your lens. So by telling them that, the next time around, if they have a patient like you, they might say, oh, there's something that happened and I didn't see it because maybe I don't have the same lived experience. So that's why, and this person told me that's what happened. So let's find a way to change things like that. Let's find a way to change the culture of our office so we can accommodate people who don't understand, and ask more questions about it, because sometimes people don't see it. And I know some people say, oh, it was glaring, I could see it, and any normal person would see it. That doesn't mean that everybody sees it, because your lived experience may be different from the doctors and the other people in the office. Okay. Don't make they say also, don't anger the doctor. And also, because the medical community, as large as it is, it's also very small. Most doctors know each other, most providers know each other, and they also have the network of people they recommend you to, or they refer you to. So if at all, if you can help it, if it's really important to you, that you can sit down, you can express your feelings clearly, and your distrust, or whatever it is that they did to you, do it in a way where then you both can express your feelings respectfully. Put it that way. Again, emotions may come into play there. Many times we've been cussed out before, and we just kind of take it with a grain of salt and say, you know what, that's what they're feeling, and we have to respect that. But that doesn't mean you just cuss us out all the time, because we're human beings too, and we'll be like, okay, I've had a patient that came in, and I've been taking care of her for almost 2 years now. She came in, the first thing, you guys haven't done anything for me. You guys haven't done anything for me. Oh my God. Right. I just want to change my doctors. You haven't done anything for me. And I said, okay, well, why do you say that? Well, you haven't done anything for me. Why are you asking me that? I said, well, let's go back to the first time I had a meeting with you, or met you. Let's go back to day one. This is when you came in for this one. This is what your concerns were, and I documented. This is what your concerns were, and this is what I did. I sent you for this test. I sent you for that test. I called you back in the next test. I explained your test results. I sent you to a specialist. I read the consultation notes. We had 3 or 4 visits. You've had 3 to 4 visits in office and also on the phone. And I've done everything, and I listed everything. And this is everything that I said. So why are you saying that I haven't done anything for you? And she's like, oh, well, and I said, okay, I mean, I understand you're frustrated. Sometimes you're in pain and all, but by you saying I'm not doing anything for you, and it's documented here, everything I've done for you, and I've spoken to you many times over. So sometimes, some patients can see things differently, and they might go and tell another friend or family member, oh, don't go to that office because this person is this person is that. And when in actuality, it's like, okay, I've done this for you, it's documented, and we've talked, and I've given you enough time to listen to your complaints and all that. So that's why when some people go on and say, I'm going to write a review of this business, a review of this practice, sometimes it's like, okay, is that really true? I'm not saying patients lie. I'm not saying that doctors' offices are perfect, but at the same time, the relationship with this person could be completely different with another person. Okay. So, and of course, if you have any issues with a doctor at all, feel free to talk to the doctor about it. All right. So do that. Get all your medical records, get copies of all your medical records and all that. And also make a copy for yourself so you have it at home, but get all the copies of your medical records. Understand also that there will be times where there will be a delay, because if this doctor uses a different software system, and they use another, it's called electronic medical records. So it may be a little different, that they have to copy your chart and paper charts, or they can just send everything on a disk and you can take it to this other doctor, because sometimes we have different software and they may not work together. They're not compatible. Most doctors have different, and sometimes different hospitals have different software or EMR. So they may not be compatible, EMR or EHR. So it may not be compatible. So you don't want to wait. You don't want to make the appointment with your other doctor Thursday of next week and then call Monday, I need all my records. That's impossible, because he has to take time to compile it and also copy it and get it ready for you to pick up. All right. So To the next one, see, so do I have to say why I'm leaving? Again, like I said, you don't necessarily have to. Sometimes people will tell you, I'm leaving because my insurance is changing. I'm leaving because of this, especially if they're not leaving on their own, they can say that. And again, you can also tell them, I'm leaving because of this, this, and this. And if that person, if that doctor or the provider again, if they might say, okay, tell me about it. What is it that you think I've done wrong that I need to know? And again, if they're really, they will be receptive and write down this information, and especially for something where they know that was totally beyond their control. Like if you need me to be a male doctor, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay. If you need me to be a doctor of a different color, there's nothing I can do about that. I can only do what's in my power to do. And I will tell you, I'm here to give you the best care that I know how to give you. When I know my limitations, I know when to refer you to other specialists. And there are things that I don't know, and I will tell you I don't know. Now, it may come across to you as saying, oh, well, how come you don't know another doctor knows? No doctor knows everything. Not even specialists don't know it. That's why we refer to the other. We're supposed to refer to other doctors. And at the same time, like I said, we go to our continuing education, and we're supposed to look at our resources in order to give you the best care. That may come off like, oh, being incompetent to you, and or if you come in with a bias already, because patients also come in with a bias as well. And if they come in with that, there's not much we can do about it. There's some things that there's nothing you can do about it, and you cannot make every patient happy. Okay. So you don't have necessarily have to tell them, but you can just, tell them this is the reason why I'm leaving. Let me go over here. You can you can also write a letter, tell them. You don't necessarily have to, people call and leave a message, people and leave emails on why they're leaving too. All right. Getting your medical records, again, make sure you call them way ahead of time to get your medical records. You can make a request in writing. You can, some places you have to pay for your copies, so ask them ahead of time. Do I have to pay for my copies? What are the things that I necessarily that I need? That I'll take this one and I can pay for the other one later on. But some doctors, some places you have to pay for it because they're using, especially if it's paper charts, and even in manpower that it take time to put your charts together. That take a long time. So they may need you to pay them, and sometimes also, like I said, you want to give enough notice ahead of time. All right. So visiting your new doctor, assuming you've done your work and you got this new doctor and all that, again, make that first introductory visit. Go there and look at the office, because sometimes you may see the doctor online and you set everything up. Go to the office, just come there and say, okay, I'm going to be your new patient. I just wanted to stop by and see the office and see where I need to park and everything. And because remember now, let's say if you live in a city and now the office doesn't have parking, or what if you have to park off the street and parallel parking? Some people are not good at parallel parking. I'm not. I want to see where if I have to do parallel parking, there has to be one car so far away and the other car so far away before I can parallel park. So get all that information. And again, if you have to make that introductory visit, you can go there and say, I'm just here to, get everything set for you guys to know me, for me to familiarize myself with the staff and the provider. So when I need to come here, I'll have my first step already out of the way. And some doctors will say that. And some people, of course, you have to pay copay. So if you're willing to do the copay, why not? You don't want to find that new doctor and then don't see them again for like a whole year. Again, if you have chronic illness like diabetes, hypertension, and things that need to be managed periodically during the year, you want to make sure that you get that doctor and see them and say, okay, yes, I'm going to be needing my referrer to see my new to see this other doctor, since I changed my primary doctor, I need to have new referrers now. So have that way ahead of time and kind of see if you and this doctor kind of gel together and see, okay, maybe I made a good change. I don't feel bad not leaving my other doctor. Me and this other doctor get along pretty well. Okay. And again, make copies of your medical records. Pre-prepare with questions when you go see this new doctor. Write down a master list of questions. Again, when you come to the doctor's office for the first time, we cannot cure every problem. We cannot address every problem. So we would take care of the ones that are very important, against anything that affects your brain, anything like headaches or dizziness or any kind of chronic illness that you have, that neurological issues. We'll take care of that. We'll address that. Anything that has to do with the heart and in kidneys and all, we'll take care of that. And if you say not every problem, of course, is a priority, but the ones that are like that we really have to pay attention to that may affect your life and your livelihood, we'll take care of that first, and then we'll tell you come back again, and then we'll take care of the rest, because we cannot take care of every problem all at once. That's why it's important that if you see other specialists, make sure you have enough medications, make sure you have all your referrals and everything before leaving your other doctor. I have patients who, when they're going away, they say, I'm moving out of state and I will have to find a new doctor. Can you please prescribe my medicine for at least 3 to 6 months so I have enough so when I get there, I won't be out of my medication, because sometimes there's limitations to what we can prescribe when we're in different states, and certain things that we can prescribe in another state either. So it's important to know that. All right. Okay. And also for those, if you want to tell your new doctor why you left your old doctor, some people might want to say, sometimes I'll ask, I'll be like, when was the last time you saw your family doctor, your old family doctor? And they'll say, I left them this time around. Oh, I'm like, why did you leave? I don't mean to be all nosy in your business, because sometimes it's like, you just this normal thing, especially if that person it's just, so why'd you leave? And they might say, I left because I had to change doctors, I had to change insurance. And then some of them would tell me, I left because, this and that and this, and he didn't want to prescribe this for me, and he didn't want to prescribe that for me. And and they would go on talking about the legal issues with that other doctor. Right away is like, okay. And then sometimes there's certain things, it is red flags. It's like, okay, this patient may be somebody that you have to keep an eye on. And especially they will tell you, this doctor, they want to prescribe me this medication and this, and I'm like, I'm not going to be prescribing that medication either, especially if it's something that's like narcotic that you need to go follow up pain management. You have to follow up pain management, and they told you that you didn't go ahead. I'm not going to be prescribing that. I'm not going to be prescribing certain medications, especially when I look on the drug monitoring system and I see that there was a question before, and anything that looks a little suspicious, I'm not going to be prescribing that either. So again, don't leave another doctor thinking another doctor is gonna just prescribe the medication simply because you chose that other doctor. There are patients who also go from doctors to doctors to doctors until they find somebody who would prescribe certain medications for them. That's not, no, somebody, we're not supposed to do that. We can't sit there and just indulge everything you want, because we have a license to protect as well. We want to give you the best care possible, but at the same time, we have to protect ourselves as well, because who's going to be prescribing something where we know that the state's going to come down and the federal DEA is going to come down on us? All right. So make sure. And again, you get this at a doctor, you sit there, you get a feel for them, and you just be pleasant. Most patients, 99.9% of the patients are really pleasant. And even if they have this problem with okay, I don't trust this person. Would they understand my culture? Would they understand this? Like I said, most of my patients don't look like me. They don't even come from my culture. Most of them are also immigrants too. So it's like, I have to learn. I not only do I not know the language, we have an interpreter, but at the same time, I also have to learn part of the culture, and I have to be respectful of the culture. But there are certain things that I may not understand, and they may come across as, oh, they may come off as maybe disrespectful or like not being sensitive. But so at the same time, we're learning too. Every time we're learning. So even if I don't know how to pronounce your name, I may try it, and I'll just after a while just say, "Can you just tell me how you pronounce your name?" And some people be like, "Oh, you can't say that's a raw." There's some people who don't know how to say Abigail. They don't. So am I going to say, "Oh, you don't know how to pronounce that? That's an easy name to pronounce"? No, I'll just say, "Okay." So I asked, I said, "How do you pronounce your name? Do I call you Mister? Do I call you, sister? Do I call you this?" And whatever title is that you need for me to call you, I'll do that. And because I'm there, like I say, I'm there to help you get better, and so you can go about your day, not to make your life stressful and come across as no. Because we learn all this in school too, and also it just being a decent human being. Somebody will come across, they're sitting there across from you, and they're nervous, and they're depending on you to help them get well or to manage their chronic illnesses. They're not there for you to sit there and do that. So of course, at the same time, as a patient, understand too that we're doing the best that we can to keep you well, and we're trying our best. We're not perfect. We're trying our best as well. Okay. So once you establish good relationship with this other doctor and you guys can do stuff, and I love my patients. I love when they come in, the new ones, and this other I remember this other girl said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you don't work anywhere else. I really want you to continue being my doctor. I don't want to have to try another person again." NP. So I said, "That's okay." I said, "I'm sure your next provider would be very nice and all that." So I say, and tell them, I always tell them, I say, tell your other provider, your new provider, that you came from a very good provider. So, and so I mean, we try our best and all that too. And I love them. I love talking about their family life. I love learning different customs from patients that have different cultures from me as well. And plus, I was a nurse long before in a very diverse community. So I'm really good with picking up different cultural stuff. All right. So in conclusion, once you met this doctor, like I said, establish a good rapport, especially with the medical staff to you guys can work together and do that. And let me just see here for a second. So Jackie Jackson said this is a great topic, especially for a lot of young people moving to another state for school or other issues. Yes, 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 because when they go into school, they go into college, and then they end up being on that side forever. Oh, it's like, oh my God, can't you come be closer to home, like be in the next street over? So that's important because they have to find they've been used to their pediatrician all through, or maybe they're going to the family doctor and they have to start all over again. So that's important, all those things that you have to know before finding a new doctor. Okay, so yes, that's important. So ATHLers, if you like this video and like the information that I've presented so far, please be kind and share the video on your different forums. Share it on your page. I am trying to get to at least 1,000 followers by the end of July. I think I'm like 7 something. So all those who love me and support me and all, please try to invite other people. You have a lot. I see some of you have like 1,000, 5,000 friends. Even if you can just kind of let them know that yes, his forums are there, just followers. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to also get to at least 2,000 people by the end of the year. That is, it's a good dream. I want to be able to do that and get that. And for those of you who are on here, and also you've on YouTube, you can also, even though you're following me on Facebook, you can still just go up to YouTube and again and sit there and try to just subscribe to my channel on YouTube and hit the follow button too. It's the same video, but at least I'll be building up more followers. Okay, so thank you all. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. Okay, so again, like I said, to repeat, just review a little bit. If you're trying to find a new doctor because for whatever reason it is, make sure that you tell that doctor ahead of time that you're going to be leaving. And if that doctor is sending you to see different specialists and all, if it's a family doctor, get enough medication. If you're moving away, especially, to make sure you have enough medication to last you for at least 3 to 6 months, especially when it comes to pain medicine. Anything is a narcotic, or they probably won't give you the narcotics for a long period of time, but at least that way you're gonna have enough until you find a new doctor. Get all your information. Always, if they give you your information, you have a copy of it. Again, and also most doctors have the portal system. Is the system that it's like a system that's on the computer or on your phone, where they'll tell you PORTUL, the portal system. So you just go in there and put your name and your code, and you get all the information right away from. It won't be everything that we do, but most of it will be there. So you can just look at your report. Everything you talk to the doctor about, it will be listed there. And you can also, they'll probably need to explain it because we kind of put it in a little, we'll make it patient friendly, but it's separate also from what we do. And get all your medication, get all your referrals. If you're leaving a specialist, make sure you get all your referrals before you just go ahead and leave from there, because again, when you go find a new doctor, it's going to take a while to finally get a new doctor, and you don't want to be left out there. If you have critical issues like high blood pressure, if you have kidney disease, if you have diabetes, that is very important that you get the help, that you get all that managed first and prepared before leaving that doctor. Okay, so let me see here. Let me see what Jackie Jackson said. Can you speak a little on the fee for service for individuals who have lost their insurance and how to continue care? I know for my practice, we see people who don't have insurance, and you come there, we'll do the general physical and all, and then for labs, certain labs, like, because we have a whole full routine of labs that you're supposed to get, but there's parts of it that we can say if you don't have any money, we'll tell you, which one that we absolutely need, because especially if you're taking medication for your cholesterol, for your blood pressure, all those things can affect your kidneys and affect your livers as well, and also for your diabetes. So we might tell you, okay, we want you to do like this test, we want you to do this one, and with the lab, we can call the lab also. And the lab also has like a list on their website, tells you how much each test will cost. So you can say, okay, I'll pay for this one right now, and I'll pay for that right now. And maybe I also tell people, okay, you may not, let's say for your mammogram, you can always wait one more year if you don't have insurance, because mammogram is very expensive. Or I can also send you to, there's also discounted places where you can get, discounted mammogram is the same mammogram, but It's less money. Also, Planned Parenthood, who you have, some people can go there and get their contraception, is at a much cheaper rate. And also, there's many things when you call the office, my office, and I can only speak for my office. If you call and say, I don't have insurance, I just need to come in for my general physical, how much is this going to cost? And we usually will break everything down to you, and you can decide what it is that you need to get. Okay. So let me see. This topic is kind of long. Okay. Alrighty. So I'll probably read that later. It's a little long. Anyways, so all right. So I think I answered all the questions there. And so basically, if you're trying to find your doctor, and if you have any questions or comments, I'm really trying to get more interactive. So if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Leave a question, leave a comment, and if this video speaks to you, please try to share it. Again, I'm trying to get to at least 1,000 followers by the end of July. So I thank you all for watching. For those of you who will be watching now, I say thank you. For those of you who will be watching later, I say thank you as well. And I will be on. I know people were asking me if I was going to be on tomorrow. I will be on for Friday and chat with Abby, but this was really important. And because I did that, I did the topic about making the most of your doctor's visit. And then when I also got the ask question, sometimes, like I said, some doctors, everybody comes in with their bias. So it's important. If you don't feel like that doctor is giving you the kind of care that you need, you have every right to change your doctor. You have every right to change your doctor. So don't feel bad if you have to change your doctor, but just make sure you go about doing it safely so it does not affect your health. Okay, especially if you have chronic diseases that need to be managed effectively. You want to make sure you get everything in place before leaving out a doctor. Okay, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you and good night.